Welcome back to the channel. If I said to you there's a UK band who in 2021 won 4 separate categories in the UK Blues Awards, you'd be naturally thinking, who are we talking about? Moving on to 2023, their album Aces High peaked at number 9 in the UK album charts. Currently this week their live album, titled Breaker of Chains Tour, has also just dropped into the UK album charts. We're talking about Guitarist Aaron of the band When Rivers Meet, and this week we met up with Aaron whilst he was touring the UK promoting the album in Manchester. So ladies and gentlemen, in this edition of Backstage with Gigs and Guitars, we met up with Aaron Bond. Absolutely, excellent, excellent. Well guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, please enjoy Gigs and Guitars, share, like, subscribe. We're with Aaron Bond today from When Rivers Meet. We're playing, oh I'm not playing, but you're playing here today at Gorilla in Manchester. So how are you, Aaron, at the minute? How are you?
Very well. Yeah, looking forward to tonight. Yeah, this is our 3rd date of the tour, so yeah, we're getting into it now.
Excellent, that's good. So, okay, so I've done a little bit of research and I've not seen you guys live before, but you've obviously made a bit of an impact on the UK music blues scene, including the classic rock. You've got a number of awards with the UK blues scene kind of thing. I think that was a couple of years ago. You got 4 awards in 4 different categories,
absolutely.
I think it was.
Yeah, and then 3 the following year, I think it was, and then 2, and then Planet Rock as well. So yeah, I mean, we're very blessed. Yeah, absolutely.
It seems to be really happening. So obviously, your sidekick is your wife, which is great. I've just listened to Soundcheck, guys. I have to say, these guys are killer, and it sounds absolutely great. If you get a chance to come and watch them, make sure you do. There's 10 dates left after tonight. Okay, so Aaron, in terms of, say, for example, you've got your current album, which is called Aces High.
Yep.
One thing I've been sort of thinking about quite a lot since I've been listening to that album is how do you as an artist, from the terms of being creative in the studio to delivering a great album, which it was, it hit the UK in number 9 in the UK album charts from what I recall.
That's right.
How do you manage to bring that studio album to a live stage environment?
Well, we just, basically when we're recording, we do things that are very live. We do it kind of like old school, so there's a lot of open spaces. So like in the 60s and 70s, that's kind of how they used to do it, and we sort of like replicate that as well, because that's what we love. We love the live sound of instruments, we love the live sound of the vocals and all sorts of things. And it kind of like, when we're in the studio, it's kind of what we hope that we sound the same on stage as well, because we love to bring that live sound. So.
Right, guys, I can testify. I've just been stood at the back, I've listened to Soundcheck, and it's been absolutely wow. And I'm not being biased at all, because I'm an absolute connoisseur of good sound and good tone. And I say, you know, you've nailed it over there.
Thank you.
You know, so you will have a good show tonight. So it's an old school approach.
Yep.
Yeah, but in the modern day world.
Yes.
So you've got Grace on a mandolin and a violin, add into the sort of the band mix there, which we've just witnessed.
Yep.
So in terms of you and your sort of guitars and your rigs, your signal chains, how does it work for you in 2024 as opposed to previous years?
Well, before actually this tour, I had a stack of pedals. It was basically, I don't know how many pedals it was. I was getting on for 30 odd pedals. I had like 3 pedal trains in front of me basically, and it was like full of pedals. And it was a real pain in the neck, to be honest. We had lots of problems with leads and things like that. Like, you know, the bane of my life is leads, you know, patch leads and all sorts of things. So we struggled with a lot of things last year, like with festivals and stuff like that, getting the turnaround quicker.
Yeah.
So what we've done this year, and we're trying it out on this tour, is to use a Helix floor. And the technology nowadays, I mean, before I would never go for it, but I've been convinced that this year, with the new Helix and new systems and things like that, that they can replicate the sounds that you want basically, and go beyond. Yeah. And a lot of the time, like, we're changing from different tones and different things throughout each song necessarily, and you know, it's just easier with this than it is to kneel down and start doing your tones and whatever else with your pedals, fiddling with different things and whatever else. And yeah, so that's the route we've gone down. So we're bringing like an old school style and old school sound, like you say, into the modern world, using the digital world into this now. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I think it's great.
Right, because when I was listening to Soundcheck, and I can hear them, I can hear the mix, but I didn't know you were using a Helix until literally 5 minutes ago, guys.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, hang on a minute, because it was a blues driver.
Yeah.
It was it a TC Electronics Hall of Fame? Or
Absolutely,
I think it was. He had a tremolo at one point.
Yeah, and fuzz and all sorts.
Yeah, you know, and I can see a Helix on the floor at the minute. I'm looking at that thinking, I wouldn't even know what to do with it.
Well, to be fair, I'm not very technical, so luckily I've got a really good technical guitar tech who knows everything about it, because he's got one himself and he's like massively technical, and our producer as well, who's playing bass with us on this tour as well, and he's a very, very technical person as well, which is cool because all I know is what sound I like, basically. Yeah. When it comes down to the technical side of it, you know.
Like I said, we've just been watching the sound, and I keep referring back to the sound check. So that is your producer who's playing bass. He's playing your T-style guitar at the same.
That's right. Yeah.
Right. So there's obviously a wealth of talent there.
Oh yeah, big time.
To give you guys sort of what you need is what you're saying. So tell me about your sort of weapons of choice in terms of, obviously we're going to start with the guitar signal chain. We'll work through a couple of sort of demos on your Helix if we can. Then we'll talk about your backline amplification, whether it's mic'd up a diode or whatever, you know. Yeah. Just tell me about guitar strings on your guitars. What sort of gauge do you normally go for?
11s.
11s.
Ernie Balls 11s. Yeah, I do hit the guitar pretty hard, to be honest. Yeah. And I've got really big hands as well. So it's kind of like the 11s. If I go any lower than 11 or higher, should I say, then I'll just break them all. Right. Basically, I'm too heavy-handed.
This is it. So in terms of, say, for example, doing the slide guitar kind of stuff, would you go to heavy gauge with a higher action, or are you just sort of pretty much sort of standard as it is?
No, standard 11s, and unless there's the guitar, the cigar box guitar, then I go 13s. Yeah. And again, very heavy-handed. I really hit it hard, and you know, I like the heavy sound, so I go for a thicker gauge. So yeah.
Excellent. Okay, so moving on to sort of your weapons of choice for this tour at the minute. So what are you going out on the road with at the minute in terms of sort of guitars?
Right. Well, this one here, which is probably about 100 quid. This guitar. Right. So, and it was given to me or lent to me by a friend of ours when I didn't have an electric guitar, and he said, "Here, try this." And the tone of this guitar is amazing. Right, and it's just like to play slide on it. The action's really nice as well to play slide. Yeah. I have a lot of open tuning guitars, so I have a lot of guitars that are tuned differently. So therefore, it's quicker and easier to change guitars than it is to retune all the time. Yeah. So this one's tuned to G. We've got quite a few songs in G, which is really cool. And like playing slide, I've got a rock slide here, which I like because it's like cut out here. It is. Yeah, yeah. And then you've got a little indent here for your finger, so it's really cool.
I've not seen one of those before.
No,
to be honest. So,
yeah,
that's really good.
It's really cool, but don't drop them because they smash. Right. But it works really well. It sounds really nice on this guitar. I have got a metal one as well, but it gives a bit of a tinnier sound, but this is just perfect, really, a warmer sound.
Right, so, with you, yeah. Oh, that sounds good. Right, so okay, so what make of guitar is that? Just
it's a Stagg.
Right,
it's literally a Stagg. It's probably like £100, you know, but it's just it's such a nice tone. Such a nice tone. I can't give it back to him, unfortunately. Right. But he said it's okay. He said you can keep it until you know when.
Until you no longer want it.
Yeah, basically. It sounds to me I've tried to buy it off him, but he won't have it.
It sounds to me like it's very much a keeper, and it's there absolutely, as long as you want it. So, okay, so now I've seen some other guitars just in your rack over there. Is there any chance we can have a look at those
absolutely,
as well?
Absolutely. So this one here is my Gulfcaster guitar.
Here we go. Look at this.
Cheers, my man. Thank you. And this was made for me by a very good friend of ours over in Florida. And
that looks very, very nice.
It's a Keith Richards replica, kind of. Yeah. Except I've got an extra string and a couple of other little things that he doesn't use. But let me. Can I change this patch, Matt? Can you go seen it all before, please? Yeah. So. He actually, we was on the phone together, and he was saying to me, what kind of guitars do you want? I said, well, like, again, I'm not very technical, but I like what the sound and stuff. And I've got an extremely thick neck here.
That
You can
is-
probably see that.
I'm just looking at here,
Yeah.
and it's
It's like
massive.
It's massive, but again, big hands. So, you know. So again, tone-wise and things like that, I've got a humbucker and a P90 as well.
Yeah.
And it's just like turned up to 11 basically.
right.
Or 12 as I like to say.
12's always a good spot. So we're talking about sort of inspired by Keith Richards.
Yes,
with
yeah,
his.
yeah.
So is there like a musical inspiration from there? Is he one of your idols? Somebody that inspires you?
There's so many, to be honest, but yeah, Keith Richards is one, definitely.
Yeah.
And I can't even name the amount of guitarists that I love, like Slash and Lenny Kravitz, all sorts. So, yeah. But I mean, this one here, when Izzy, Gulfcaster guitars, when he said to me, what kind of guitars do you want? Have a look through my catalogue that I can make. This was the one that drew me towards having one, and you know, he's very generously gifted me this. So.
Wow, I'm just stood here looking at it. I mean,
Yeah.
the relicing work on it, the work that's gone into this guitar.
Yeah,
I mean,
massively.
I can just see the fretwork is absolutely beautiful on the edges there.
Even the cigarette burn that Keith Richards had. So yeah.
So is that a bit of an anti-vibration kind of?
It
sort of
is,
structure?
yeah, because I got a little bit of a. You can just hear that little ting at the end.
Yeah.
And that's just stopping that. So.
That is just an absolute stunning guitar. That.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it's my go-to guitar. So.
Yeah. So you just played a bit of a riff.
Yep.
That's from the new album. What
Yep.
track's that one?
That's Seen It All Before.
Yeah.
I think it's the second song on the album.
Yeah, I'm just checking.
Yeah. I'm terrible with the names of the songs, but I mean, yeah. So should we go on to another guitar?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Right, so-
That is very, very nice.
I want to show you this one. This is my newest guitar, made by Matt Whaller himself.
Oh, right.
Thank you very
yeah.
much.
Excellent match.
This is the first time this will be played because it's not been played out yet. So this will be the first time tonight that it'll be played.
I've got to be honest. I'm just
change
looking at
patch.
this at the minute, and it's a visual.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It really is beautiful. I mean, it's a 3-string. One of the things, like with cigar box guitars, C6 Steve is again another one of my heroes.
Yeah.
And Samantha Fish as well.
Yeah.
And actually, when we were speaking to Samantha Fish, we went backstage and met her last year, I think it was, at London. And I actually had a bit of a moment. I said, like, it was her that really kind of like inspired me to play cigar box guitar, because some of her songs like Bulletproof and things like that are just phenomenal. And so I just love this guitar. So again, slide.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just a beautiful guitar. I'd have to ask Matt where the technical specs of it though. Yeah, so
It's. I have to say, Matt, that looks fantastic, guys. He's just hiding behind it. Let's just get Matt up here. Come on, Matt. Hopefully the mics will just pick up a little bit. So
yeah.
So yes, twin humbucker.
There we go.
Split coils if we want them. So sometimes we want to split the back, keep the front humbucker, or vice versa. It's we're running 54 on the top there. So that's your heavier set on the 13s of an acoustic guitar.
Which is my preferred choice.
Ash body, maple neck, ebony fretboard.
I'm just going to say, it's just
And
beautiful.
unlike a lot of cigar box guitars, this has a rod going through it, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, because Aaron uses such heavy gauge strings as standard.
It bends
box
the guitars.
bends. So we put a truss rod in. We've got Luminate on there to help with dark stages. Locking tuners to make it easy for me to change strings.
Exactly. See that there?
It was kind of designed for Aaron. This is all the things he wanted in a cigar box, and I said, well, let's give it a go.
It's,
and that's what
you know,
we've
when
come
you
up
see
with.
the standard sort of cigar box stuff, can't talk now, guys. What I was going to say is it almost looks like contemporary.
Yeah.
Almost looks
for
like
sure.
Darth Vader.
Oh yeah,
You know?
definitely. Well, I am a big Star Wars fan, so you know.
That's it.
Right, yeah.
Matt actually had that in mind.
It needs a name, so we can call it Darth Vader.
Oh yeah, Darth. We'll call it Darth.
Darth.
There you go.
There we go.
But
Yeah.
it's also solid body, obviously. Most
Yes.
cigar boxes are hollow, but
Very hollow, yeah.
because we're using loud stages, we get feedback issues, so we
Yeah.
decided to go solid body, but it gives it so much sustain.
Yeah.
So that's it.
That is so
I
beautiful.
told you, technical.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's
There
it.
you go.
Matt, what can I say? You know. Fantastic.
Cheers, buddy. Thank you very much.
That is a lovely work of
It
art.
is,
That,
it's
isn't it?
beautiful.
This man's just hidden talent.
I know.
So,
I know. Yeah, it's so
Fantastic.
cool. It's so cool.
What else is going to come next?
Well,
Right.
I'll tell you. If you just pass me the Gibson, this is the first guitar. Well, the only guitar I think that I bought. To be fair,
So this is
So
the one that changed
this
the
is-
course of direction.
in 2019, this 2018 we saw Tyler Bryant and the Shakedown when they were supporting Guns N' Roses, and we were very much more a kind of folky Americana band at the time. So I was playing fingerpick style acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
And it was like we were enjoying it, but we weren't loving it, what we were doing, and there was something wrong there. You know, even though we still love doing that sort of thing, it just wasn't quite gripping us.
Right,
you know, because we were going to rock gigs and stuff like that. So all of a sudden, Grace stood up when Tyler Bryant came on and started riffing. She goes, "This is what we need to do." So like a week or two later, we went out, bought a Gibson Les Paul, obviously on tick, you know, because they're not cheap. And oh, hello. And so we just bought this, and the very first song that we wrote on it, like a week or two later, was Free Man, and that was the first song we wrote. We released it in 2019. So
this was the change in direction in terms of the music you're writing, the inspiration, and this has forged the way for what we have today.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Wow, that looks absolutely stunning. That. So in terms of,
it's beautiful.
Yeah,
I love this guitar.
Can we hear some quick tones? Can we just?
Could we just very quickly? Oh, on the right one. Cheers, mate.
That's such a beautiful guitar, that, Aaron.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah,
that sounds fantastic.
Oh, it does, yeah.
So just very quickly while I have got you here, so you mentioned different states of tuning for different kinds of tracks.
Yes.
And things. So you mentioned, obviously, your Telecaster is in sort of open G. Do you use any other tuning states?
Telecaster's in standard.
Oh, is it standard?
So the Stagg's in G. This is in DAG-GAD.
Right,
the Cigar box is in F.
Yeah.
So, and then we've got other ones as well that, you know, for different standard tunings and all sorts,
Brilliant, okay. So we've got the obviously the line 6 there. Just a quick one on your back line.
Yep. So I've got a Marshall amp at the moment. We usually have a Fender as well, so we have twin amps. But because of the size of the stage, we've decided just to go one amp tonight. It's all good.
Excellent. Listen, Aaron. I wish you all the very best for the rest of your tour. You've got 10 dates, including tonight.
Yep.
Guys, if you like this edition of Gigs and Guitars, you want more stuff like this, just drop us a quick comment in the box below. Like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the channel. Thanks, Aaron.
Cheers,
Thanks very
man.
much. Cheers,
Thank you.
guys. We'll see you soon.